In this video, I'm going to be changing the chain and front sprocket on my 2024 KTM 300 EXC TBI. This chain has done 140 hours now. It's starting to look a little sorry for itself. So I've decided I'm going to change it for a new one. And also the front sprocket, the teeth are looking quite hooked. So always a good idea to change the front sprocket at the same time as you change the chain. I'll show a close-up of the front sprocket once I've taken it off. The rear sprocket, I have multiple wheel sets and I use super sprockets, and typically these last about 3 or 4 chains. So as I have multiple wheels, I'm not going to be changing the rear sprocket this time, but if you are changing your chain, always inspect the rear sprocket as well and inspect the teeth carefully and make sure they're not getting hooked. If they are, change the sprocket as well. And here you can see the chain I'm going to be using. It's a DID 520 ERVT. Chain length is 116. I'm using it with sprockets which are 1350. If you're using the stock sprockets on your TBI, you'll want the shorter 114 length chain. And the chains come in 2 versions. One is with a clip master link, which is the version I got, and you can also get a rivet version. This is an X-ring chain with good life and good performance, and it's definitely my favorite off-road chain. And the front sprocket is the stock KTM 13 tooth sprocket. And my first job, because I'm replacing the front sprocket, I'm going to remove the front sprocket bolt, and it's much easier to do with the chain on. Just use an impact. I'm going to use a battery powered impact. If you have an air impact, that works fine too. Next, I'm going to go ahead and remove the master clip. If you have a rivet chain, you'll have to grind the rivets off and remove it that way. Mine's clip, so I use these chain clip pliers made by Hozan. I'll put the part number in the description. I really like these, very high quality Japanese made tool. Highly recommended, very easy to use as well. And next I'm going to remove the master link, and it is slightly pressed in, so you'll need some kind of press tool. I really like this tool made by Motion Pro because you can press both pins without having to move the tool. I'll put the part number in the description of the video in case you want to purchase it. Super easy to use, and you can use it to install the new chain as well. So I'll show that when I put the new chain on. And here you can see the old front sprocket compared to the new one, and I think you can see quite clearly how worn the teeth are becoming, clearly hooked and quite a bit narrower than the new one, so a good interval to change the front sprocket. And before you install the new front sprocket, it's a very good idea to check you don't have an oil leak around this area. If you do, it's possibly caused by the seal or the O-ring inside here. So mine looks in really good shape. I've cleaned it off a little bit, but I didn't have any oil leaks. If you do have an oil leak, I do have a separate video on how to replace the countershaft seal and O-ring. So I'll put a link to that video in the description. And when installing the countershaft sprocket, I always use some high moly content grease on the splines to minimize wear. So I'm going to apply that now to the countershaft. This is Moly 60 paste, but I think pretty much any high moly content grease will work well for this. And I've also applied some Moly 60 to the new sprocket and just slide it on. And then I'm going to wipe off the excess grease. And I'm getting ready to install the new chain, and I'm just checking I've got everything, and it includes the new Master Link clip. If you have a rivet version, it's obviously going to be different, but it comes with the Master Link with the plate, new clip, and 4 X-rings and some grease to lube up the Master Link. So I'm going to go ahead and lube up the Master Link and also the X-rings as well. And while the chain is off, it's also a really good idea to check that the chain slider and chain guide are in good shape and not damaged. So my slider is TMD Design Works. The guide is the same, and they're very sturdy units. So my slider has virtually no wear at all, really good shape. The chain guides, you can see here a lot of scratch marks and some wear from hitting rocks, but internally still really good shape. The wear block is slightly warm, but no problem at all. So I'm going to go ahead and carry on using these as is. Okay, so I have my chain threaded through the chain guide and front sprocket, and it's rested on the rear sprocket with the Master Link links here. And I have my new Master Link greased up and with 2 X-rings on the back. And I'm just going to install that through the chain and get ready to install the clip. Okay, so I've moved the Master Link along a little bit so there's some space so I can use the press tool. And I'm going to go ahead and place on the 2 X-rings. And then the plate. And just rest that on. And it is a press fit, so you won't be able to push it on with your fingers, which is why you need the press tool. And then the Motion Pro tool has press off and press on. And the difference is that the press on part is basically flat and it has a recessed area in the center for the pins, whereas the press off part has pins which stick out and press onto the chain Master Link. So orientate it onto the press on and then position it over the Master Link, and then you can go ahead and start pressing on the plate. And make sure the alignment is good over the plate. And then you can put on an Allen wrench to hold it securely and start pressing it on. And just work to and fro between the 2 pins. And when you're pressing this on, don't go crazy and press it as far as it will go, or you'll find that it creates a lot of tension and binds the chain. So it's a good idea to take the tool off, and I think I've pressed it on just about right now. And a good test is whether you can get the Master Link over the clip area, and I can, and that looks just about perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and install the clip next. If you hadn't pressed the plate on enough, obviously use the tool, press it on a little bit, take it off. And a good check to make to ensure that you haven't pressed it on too far is that the links swivel without binding. So that looks fine, certainly not binding, all looks good. And if you had pressed the plate on too far, you can use the tool in the press off mode, install it, and then just lightly press down and adjust the position of the pin in the plate, and then recheck it. Okay, so I'm now ready to install the clip. I've positioned the master link on the rear sprocket to provide support so it can't move a lot when I'm installing the clip. Then take your clip, make sure it's the right way round, and the clip has an open end which should be facing back, and the closed end should be facing forwards, so that when the bike is moving forwards, being driven, the chain will move this way, and the closed part of the clip should be facing forwards. So press the clip on as far as possible using your fingers, and try to get the open part of the clip engaged in the groove of the pin. Then you can get your clip tool and press the clip on. And you can see there, using the Hozan tool, very easy to install the clip. It's really nicely machined, produced, so it has nice sharp edges which grip the clip well. Next, I'm going to complete the installation of the front sprocket, and before I install the bolt, I'm going to clean out any old thread lock inside the counter shaft, and I'm using a thread chaser tool, and the thread is M10 by 1.5. And then blow it out with air. And I'm going to be using a new Belleville washer. Really good idea to use a new one. The old ones tend to get flattened, and the tension applied to the front sprocket will help ensure there's no oil leaks, because it applies pressure to the internal O-ring. So I recommend using a new washer. But I'm going to go ahead and use my old bolt. It's not damaged at all. I did clean it off thoroughly. I got rid of all the old Loctite. But before you install it with new Loctite, it's a good idea to do a test fit, and it should screw in all the way by hand without any resistance. So that looks good. If you don't clean off the old Loctite, you won't be able to torque it correctly. So that's really important. And to torque the countershaft bolts, I've put a rag in the chain, between the chain and the sprocket, to stop the rear wheel turning. And on the other side, I've got a clamp pressing down on the rear brake, so the rear wheel is held solidly. And I've applied Loctite 243 medium strength, which is blue color, and as I mentioned, the new Belleville washer, and I'm going to install the screw. And you need to make sure the washer is centered. And then I can go ahead and torque it. And the torque spec is 60 Newton meters. And the last thing to check and adjust, if necessary, is the chain slack, and that is measured between the swing arm and the chain by pulling it up when the bike is on a stand. And the spec published in the 2025 owner's manual is between 58 and 61 millimeters. So this is a new chain, obviously, so I'm going to aim for the tighter chain slack of 58 millimeters. So I'm using some calipers and place them there at the end of the slider, push the chain up, and you can see it's pretty much spot on 58. So I'm not going to need to adjust my chain. If you do, you would do that in the normal way using the swing arm adjusters. And I should note that in the 2024 owner's manual, it actually specified a tighter chain slack between 55 and 58 millimeters. So I never set it on the tight side, and I actually made a separate video showing how to check that you have enough chain slack. I'll provide a link to that video. Basically, you take off the rear shock and move the rear wheel throughout the entire motion. Midway, typically you get the tightest or least amount of chain slack, and make sure there's no binding. So if you're not sure, you can do that. But using the new spec between 58 and 61 should ensure that you don't have any issues. Okay, so that's the new chain and front sprocket installed. Lastly, just make sure it moves freely. That looks really good, and I'm ready for my ride tomorrow.